Meet me. Alright, boys. As promised, I climbed up an RTA so I could give you guys more reasonable showcases. This is my Commander Pavel's build. I expected him to be a juggernaut in Cleave. And you know what? After playtesting him, I was right. This hero is an absolute monster. I've been using him to great success in reasonably high RTA. These are my stats. They're not like the best in the world, but I think it's good enough. Ideally, I'd have a little bit more attack, but I'm capped out on crit chance, crit damage. I think that's the main thing, because I think a lot of people are saying his damage is unimpressive. If your damage is unimpressive, it's because you tried to make him too balanced. This hero does not need any speed. His S2 is specifically built around requiring no speed at all. You need to play him with a comp that can activate that S2 early so that he just pushes and one-shots. But I have him on Portrait. Some people say Ducks knock this. Yeah, it ends up doing more damage after it gets a few stacks. But usually I expect Commander Pavel to basically blow his load and die. I don't really care if he stacks up that stuff at all, because I think, I didn't do the math, but I feel like it's going to do less damage than Portrait until like 3 or 4 stacks. Not worth it for me, but if someone can correct me with the math and it is stronger overall, then maybe I'll consider switching him to it. But for now, I'm just running it on Portrait. Also, I don't have a plus 30 Ducks Noctis. But overall, these are the stats. I have been using him a lot in RTA. You guys know I am a bruiser player historically. I just recorded a few of these RTA matches, but you can see every single game. Commander Pavel. I'm just a filthy, cleaving scumbag. Commander Pavel. Commander Pavel. Commander Pavel. I am trying to force draft him into every game, which is generally a losing recipe. But for the most part, it's actually working. Me just trying to force draft him into everything. You can see these are not low tier matches for the most part. Like, all my opponents are Emperor, Legend, or High Champion. So let's get into a few of these matches so you guys can really see him in action in a true RTA environment. Alright, so he didn't ban Commander Pavel. So let's see Commander Pavel at work and see if he can dominate. Alright, so we do go first, so I think I'm going to go on Flan to try and push the team up. I need to push up Closer Charles. That should be enough damage. Closer Charles gets pushed up. So we're going to S3 here, give everyone attack buff, push up. Flan's dead. Commander Pavel pushes up, eliminates everyone. And there you go, that's Commander Pavel in action. Alright, Commander Pavel in action number 2. This is kind of scary because of the Senya. I need to make sure that Senya dies or she will solo me, I'm pretty sure. But first let's hit this Solitaria. Oh well, that is a very squishy Solitaria. Okay, so we're going to open with the S3 and pray that the Belian doesn't just kill me. Okay, no counter from the Belian, so Commander Pavel goes. Huge damage. I don't think it really matters. I'll kill Senya, because I don't think Huayang can solo my team. I do miss the crit though, but he does so much damage he should die anyway, I think. Oh, she didn't. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now they get barrier. Oh no. Well, I should be able to still kill this guy. We do. Belion's dead. Let's try to finish off Senya. And now it's just a solo Huayang. My Acid is stealthed. So Commander Pavel did his job. Like, as you can see, his damage output in RTA is pretty bonkers considering there's no defense break or anything. And he really needs no speed as long as you have a properly set up team to push him. Can't even kill Closet Charles. And yeah, that's a wrap. And these are not low tier matches. This is like, I don't even know, like top 500 Emperor, decently high. Yeah, there we go, 450. Let's keep going. Alright, check this out. We're gonna ban a Ravi. Hopefully bans Rem. He does. Alright, so we're gonna try to abuse Commander Pavel's damage ignore here. Hopefully this Moon Bunny isn't too fast, because that'll be a problem. Doesn't look like it is. So open straight into that. Unless Belian counters me every single attack, I think we will be okay. Alright, so this should trigger some huge damage from Commander Pavel and kill Moonlight Bunny. So, blur. And then we could do this because this won't trigger Araz's barrier thing. Alright, and this ignores damage here. Let's go straight into Belian. 15,000. Is it enough? Oh, it just wasn't enough. Oh, that's unfortunate. So as you can see, the damage isn't too outrageous. It's pretty good, but it's not going to generally single-handedly win you the match. But I'm still going to go straight into the Belian because the barrier is procced now. Ooh. The FCC actually is higher attack than the Belian. It's interesting. I really want to kill the Belian. It's going to provoke me, but I think that's okay. Wait a minute. What? Holy sacrifice, Belian. What are we seeing here, boys? Ooh. Okay. But Commander Pavel to the rescue! Yeah, baby! Oh, so the S3 is not just an opener, boys. You can clean up with it too, you get enough turns. Now we smashed a Raz. Commander Pavel! Next! Alright. Let's check out this comp. This should be interesting. Kind of scary, actually. Alright, so... First... Oh no, Acid went first. That is horrendous. Alright, well, let's push Mediator back then, because he's probably on Warhorn. My Ran is not... What the... Oh, that's very not good. That's very, very not good. Okay. Well, can we at least get that restrict thingy on him? Reduce the push by 50%? Okay. We got defense break on a Ravi. Boom! Mediator does get pushed, but it's not enough. So, Closet Charles gets to go. A-Raz goes down. Boom! And then Commander Pavel for the W. A-Ravi goes to heaven. 25k damage, and there you go. Let's move on to the summary, but this guy's a next legend player. I mean, this hero works. It works. Let's move on. Alright, so let's summarize this hero. I mean, if it wasn't obvious from the RTA showcase, I love him. I think he's a blast, but to make it easier to understand, let's split it up into strengths and weaknesses. So strengths. Very strong in a cleave comp and doesn't actually need CR push. You're going to notice I ran him a lot with Acid and Sid, because all he really needs to push is 2 crits. If you have a crit Pyrrha, a crit Ran, some people are starting to build Politica, it doesn't matter. His supporting cast does not need any innate CR pushing moves to actually push him up. And he does a lot of damage. If it's not a knight, if it's some squishy unit like an S10A, his S2 is basically going to obliterate it immediately. The fact that his S3 ignores damage share has won me a lot of matches, because a lot of people, when I started transitioning to Commander Pavel, they don't recognize this. They'll start drafting like FCC Troublemaker together and stuff like that. And I'm like, good for you. I'm just going to go right through it and kill you anyway. So, yeah, his strength is easy to initiate with. does a crap ton of damage, can one-shot most units in the game pretty consistently, and I actually want to dwell on that a little bit, because one of the criticisms I'm starting to hear about Commander Pavel is that he doesn't do enough damage. Guys, stop comparing everything to Hua-Young. Hua-Young is a busted-ass unit that shouldn't be in the game, and yes, so is A-Ravi. I think people say Hua-Young's reasonable because A-Ravi's in the game. They should both be deleted. But the thing is, people were saying, like, well, I've been trying Commander Pavel, and he can't kill 100% of A-Ravis in one hit. Guys, A-Ravi is quite possibly the tankiest unit in the game right now. It's not a knight, but a lot of people are building her 25 to 27k HP. And on top of that, most of them are on Proof of Valor nowadays because of Hua-Young. If you have 27k HP plus 30% damage mitigation and you're being one-shotted by a unit with 0 defense break and 0 setup, that unit's freaking busted. Another thing is that a lot of people are not counting the S2 damage, and I don't see why not. Usually his S3 immediately follows his S2. When you put the two together, he's really hitting most units for like 25k. That's a lot of damage. And if it's a knight that's an Aureus holder, the S2, S3 kills them every time because they took so much damage from the Aureus. So his damage is fine. I think another problem is people are overbuilding speed on him. You don't need any speed on this hero, guys. Like, just build him 350 crit damage. You're going to notice mine is 150 speed. What do you need speed for when he has a built-in 50% CR push? Just put on those attack percent boots, and then he'll do fine. He'll do more than enough damage. Just build him properly, and he'll hit hard. So yeah, I think another strength of his, going back to what I just said, is he's pretty easy to build. You're going to notice a lot of my pieces are just free Ancient Inheritance or Arena. I don't even know where this stuff is from. Because you don't care, because there was a comment on one of my videos that said he's hard to build, and I didn't understand why. Because the reason that units like Acid are hard to build is because you need pieces with all damage stats that also have a crap ton of speed, like pieces like this. These are not easy to get. And yeah, you get like one like every 4 or 5 months, right? So getting a cleaver that needs speed is extremely difficult. When you have a cleaver that needs absolutely nothing but damage, you can literally just put your ass gear on him and he'll do the job. He's actually quite easy to gear. Just get him around 150 speed with the 50% CR push. He'll even cut things that are at 300. It's fine. So his strengths are easy to initiate with, does a crap ton of damage, reliable one-shot in his S3, and relatively easy to gear for an offensive cleave team. Now, weaknesses. The most obvious one, 0 survivability. If you cannot kill them in the opener with whatever team you set up, he is a complete liability. He falls over the instant someone looks at him. I know some people are experimenting with making him a bruiser. I don't think that will work, but let me know if it did for you. But he just falls over, and if your cleave fails, a lot of people go A-Ravi for cleave defense. He is a prime A-Ravi target. Like something like Watcher Shuri actually does okay against A-Ravi, because even if they survive the S3, at least he gives himself skill nullifier. Commander Pavel is just like waving to A-Ravi saying, kill me and lose me the match. So, if you use Commander Pavel, for the most part, you better win in that opener or you're going to lose. The other thing is, yes, his damage is not guaranteed 100% wipe by himself. So if your team does not have good additional damage, you're still going to lose. Even if you delete one person, again, he's a liability as soon as someone dies. So yeah, like you better be able to wipe out at least 2 or 3 of them on that opening turn, or again, you're going to lose. One thing you're going to run into a lot is people basically overbuilding knights. Again, his S3 ignores damage sharing, but if it's something really tanky like Troublemaker, FCC, A-Ravi with proof in the back, you're not going to kill it probably. So you just got to keep that in mind. Be careful in that situation. I'll just ban A-Ravi. You can probably kill most other things pretty reliably. Another obvious weakness is his S3 does ass against units with high attack. Like you saw in the RTA showcase. I mean, granted, I didn't crit, but against Senya, it barely did anything. Against Hua-Young, it barely does anything. But you'll still kill them. I think generally it seems to hit them for about like 6 to 7k. which is not super impressive, but if you already hit them with like Closet Charles or something, it might still delete them. But again, unlike Hua Young, you have to be a little bit more careful about what you go on. You want to make sure that your target has low attack. If they have extremely high attack, or if they have more attack than Commander Pavel, that defense penetration doesn't apply. You're not going to do anything. The other weakness is if you're going to use the kind of teams I do, you have to kind of telegraph with your bans. Like stuff like Sage Ball, AOL, all those kind of things kind of shut that comp down. So there's a lot of ways to counter this. Even Politis, I mean, she'll just die, but it does get difficult, like if she doesn't die, if it's like a degen Politis and Commander Pavel doesn't get pushed up enough, those kind of things are kind of a risk. Actually, I won't go back to strength. Another strength of this is you're going to notice that stuff like Politis and Celine actually don't work against most of the teams I use because there are no non-attack skills. So for people who want to use a cleave that doesn't use non-attack skills and are vulnerable to Politis and stuff like that, it is kind of a pretty good option in that case and gets rid of a lot of the cleave counters. Also, debuff counters, like Delibet's pretty good against debuff cleave. Delibet does nothing against like a physical cleave with no debuffs like the one I was using. So anyways, overall, I think he is a niche hero, but I think he's quite strong. I don't really understand where the criticism is coming from. He's not super, super busted, but I think he definitely fits in a lot of cleave drafts, does a lot of damage, and most importantly, is a lot of fun. So if I was to give him a rating, I would honestly give him something like a solid A- or A. He's definitely not S tier, because S tier is reserved for garbage like Hua Young and A Ravi, but if you're a cleaver, I think this is definitely a hero you would want to have in your toolkit. He just does something that no other hero can really do. Self-CR, push self-attack buff based on 2 crits. Like, that's not a thing that other heroes have. The closest thing is to just use regular Pavel, because they both do similar things. But if you're going to use regular Pavel, you need to bring souls, and you really need him to be fast. 2 weaknesses that Commander Pavel does not have at all. So anyways, did I miss anything? Let me know if you think I did, but overall, I really like this hero, and based on my playtesting, again, I showed you my match history. I'm not lying. I've been using him every match, and I've been climbing with him. Like, I think he's pretty solid. Like, where did I start and where did I end when I was spamming Commander Pavel? 30-32 to 30-68. So yeah, I'm going up using pretty much Commander Pavel as much as I can. So he works. If you want to pull for him and you were scared because you thought he might be dog doo-doo, he's not. As long as you like cleaving. If you don't like cleaving and you want to save your mystics, that's definitely a smart idea. But if you like cleaving at all, I really think you guys should pick up this hero. So anyways, thanks for watching. Till next time, boys. Peace out.